I'm Anil Kumar, sharing with you some questions to prepare you for test on functions. Now here it is, question number 7. A. Given f of x equals to k times 2 plus x, find k if f inverse of minus 2 equals to minus 3, right? Question 7b is, find inverse of f of x equals to minus 2 square root x minus 1 plus 3. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Let's see what kind of strategy should be applied to solve such questions. 7a. We are given the function and a point on inverse of the function. We need to find k. I've seen in most of the tests, normally, you will find inverse of this function and then use this point and answer the question. Here is an alternate method. Think like this. If f inverse of minus 2 is equals to minus 3, then this point is minus 2 minus 3 on f inverse, correct? How about the point on the function itself? We have to swap it, right? That is to say, f of minus 3 should be equal to minus 2, or the point should be minus 3 minus 2 on the function, correct? Now that is the strategy. So instead of working with the inverse function, we can take this point on the inverse function as image on function and then use, right? So the idea here is to replace f of x with minus 2. So f of x equals to k times 2 plus x. We can write this as minus 2 equals to k times 2 plus x is minus 3, right? And then solve for k. So we have minus 2 equals to k 2 minus 3, which is minus 2 equals to, this is minus 1, so I could write minus k, or 2 is equals to k. So we have our answer, that is k equals to 2, right? So that is how you can easily solve such questions. So you don't have to really find inverse of the given function. Well, this was a very simple example, so even finding inverse was not so difficult. However, if you have a difficult question here, it makes a huge difference. Okay. I hope that helps. Now let's look into 7b. Find inverse of a function which is a square root function. Now our strategy is you have to swap x and y, solve for y. Now while doing so, at times you might do a mistake. How to avoid that mistake? This is what I'm going to show you first and then find the inverse. Now what is the domain range of this function? Since this is minus 2 square root of x minus 1, think like this. Think like this. Let's try to sketch it, right? No rush. It really means minus 2 means this square root function is moving downwards, right? And minus 1 here means it moves 1 unit to the right, and plus 3 means moves up. So the function is kind of like this. Is it okay? So that is the function f of x. And well, you can always write domain range for this function. This part should be positive. So the domain here is x should be greater than or equal to 1, right? So this point here will be at 1. And range is that y is, because this is minus, it goes down from 3 less than or equal to 3. Is it okay? So this point here is 3. So whenever you find inverse of the function, what happens? In inverse, that is to say in inverse x, domain and range will swap. Do you see that? This is kind of important to understand. So when you find inverse, remember to mention this, that domain will be less than or equal to 3 and the range is going to be more than or equal to 1. So we are only considering one arm of a quadratic function which you're going to get. I hope that helps, right? Okay. So let's begin finding domain range. We'll follow the standard procedure, that is f of x is written as y equals to minus 2 square root of x minus 1 plus 3. Swap, so we get x equals to minus 2 square root of y minus 1 plus 3. Bring 3 to this side, x minus 3 equals to minus 2 square root of y minus 1. Divide by minus 2, x minus 3 divided by minus 2 equals to square root of y minus 1. And now square both sides. Let me take it to the right side. So when you square both sides, we get x minus 3 over minus 2 whole square equal to y minus 1, or y is equal to, bringing 1 here, we get 1 plus x minus 3 over minus 2 whole square, right? Or we can say f inverse of x is equal to 1 plus square of x minus 3 over minus 2 whole square, correct? Okay, so this is what you get. But as you remember, we have to restrict the domain of this function. So here, whenever you kind of at this stage, because whenever you do square both sides, squaring both sides introduces error. Remember that. So it makes minus also positive kind of thing, right? So here at this stage, you should mention that the domain of this function is, domain of this function, the inverse function is x less than equal to 3, and the range of this function is y is greater than equal to 1. Do you understand? And of course, from this, range is greater than equal to 1. This one is part is positive. Is it okay? Positive here. But restrict to one arm of this quadratic function. Is it okay? So you could say this is where the value of x is less than equal to 3. Now that truly is the inverse of the given function. If you do not mention this, then your solution is wrong. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope that helps. You can always share and subscribe to my videos. Feel free to post questions. Thank you, and all the best.